Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discuss 10 Tons All-Nighter, Planet Hollywood, the Horseshoe, Flamingo and O'Sheas. We also touch on Vibe Scouts, the Vegas Crew, Ladies of the Evening, Working the Extremes, and naming your shot after a Romanian gymnast.
You know what's annoying? Can we start the show?
Yeah,
Can we start the show?
Start it, Ed.
You know what's annoying? You want to annoys the hell out of me?
Tell me, what is annoying?
I mean, this annoys the hell out of me. I'm just telling you.
What?
I'm sitting there this morning
Mm-hmm.
I've got the news on, got the daily news on, place to my job, and I've got my cell phone up against my ear, and I'm listening to the rough draft of today's podcast that dropped, and I'm laughing, crying.
Mm-hmm.
I got tears running down my eyes, and I finally shook my head, and I went, this is a stupid ass podcast we did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking this to myself, and I see something flash across the screen, and I'm like, who's sending me emails this early in the morning? And I go back to listening, and I go back, and I thought, what was that? So I stop, and I go back, and I got a text message from you, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Your time.
My time.
Yeah, 4:30 here, my time.
Yeah, it might have been 6:30 here, whatever it was. And I'm like, the hell is he up?
Yeah.
I looked at my text message, and you had this chip porn pictures.
Yeah.
You pulled an all-nighter. That pisses me off.
Yeah. Ed, I did pull an all-nighter last night. So I got home. It was like at 4. It's definitely after 4. Because that's why I sent you these pictures.
Yeah.
I figured, Ed might be getting up right now.
It was up an hour by then.
So yeah, man. Did you want to hear about my evening? Since I think
Here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know. I want to know if you have a rug joint story.
Yeah.
I want to know, did you go play on the new rug? Because I think those pictures showed me that you played on the new rug. So you got a new rug joint story to tell.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Ed, so we ended today's episode that dropped today. We ended that actually mentioning the fact that there was a new rug over at Planet Hollywood. And I ended up playing at Planet Hollywood last night. And it was the first time I played there a solid, proper session. Since I've been in Vegas, I played there. In 15 years, I think I played there the total of 2 other times. And it was very short.
So I played there a couple of times. I've liked what I played on years ago, but it was always crowded, and I was playing other places.
I ended up going.
Did you meet anybody?
Well, I went with I'm forming a craps crew.
No,
in Vegas.
Not 10 Ton.
Yeah. Yeah, I got an official craps crew going, dude. It's official.
Okay, let's hear about it.
About a year ago, or maybe it was a solid 6 to 8 months ago, I was going out and playing. One of my old friends named Michael had moved out here, and he listens to the show. He's a great dude. He moved out here, and so he was getting into craps. And so we would go play some long sessions that you would respect, Ed. You would respect these sessions because it's the only time I would actually, when I went out with someone that was into craps, we would meet over at Paris. I'm sorry, we'd meet at Planet Hollywood, and then we wouldn't play there because the tables were always packed. Then we'd head down to Paris. We'd either play at Paris, then we can go down to Horseshoe. That's what's nice about that side of the strip.
Yeah, that is nice about that. I mean, there's a little bit of an outside walk from Planet Hollywood down to Paris, but
yeah, but it's nothing, man. It's nothing. It's a couple minutes. It's so easy. From there, you can play Paris, then you can go play Horseshoe, and then our circuit would be after Horseshoe, you go right across, you cross over to Flamingo, into the Flamingo.
But you're bypassing Cromwell. You're bypassing
Cromwell. You go through Cromwell, then you get into Flamingo, and then you can either go to Link, which I've never played at the Link.
Really? I've played at Lincoln a lot.
No, never. I always go right to O'Shea's.
I always walk through O'Shea's just to get into Link.
Yeah,
Hey,
no. That O'Shea's is a great O'Shea's is a great table, and that's a super fun environment. So, and that was always an experience. And then when we get done with there, we'd go over to we'd take a cab and go up to Mandalay Bay, and then start going
oh,
down
yeah,
that way. So those are some long excursions.
that's a long circuit. Bottom line is, you ended up pulling an all-nighter last night. I'm proud of
Dude, yeah, thank you. You would have been proud of a lot of things actually last night. But that guy that I used to go with, he has a handle. His handle is Shade to the Bay. That was
it.
that's his handle.
Everybody wants a handle now, don't they?
Well, his handle is Shade to the Bay, man, and he was great. This is something that maybe you would buy into. I don't know. This guy worked at like NASA type places, right? So he's
Yep.
definitely qualified as intelligent, super intelligent, and smart. But he would sense spirits and like bad energy. And talk about us scouting tables was great. We would be like vibe scouts, and he would literally said, "This place is filled with bad spirits," and that's how.
You get the hell out of there. Or did you play the don't?
Man, we had some good times. Again, oddly enough, just the other day, last week, I was started playing Paris because you and Bo were suggesting to go play crapless there.
Yeah.
I did go play crapless. Lo and behold, I'm at stick left one. This guy shows up right to my left, like midway during the session, and this guy had the most positive energy you can imagine. I've told you both about him. Anyway, I've
Yeah.
given him the handle, Hype Man.
Hype man. Yeah. So did you meet up with Hype Man last night?
Oh man, dude, I've already met up with Hype Man. That's the second time I've met up with Hype Man now. When you come out here, we're going out with Hype Man too. He's going to be part of the crew because this guy brings it, and he lifts the entire table up regardless. So if it's already a hot table, this guy's got great energy, man. Here's what you would like about Hype Man is that his best quality is that he plays very long sessions, but he's able to conserve his bankroll, and his philosophy behind that, which is right. It's like you got to just keep treading water till you're ready to like get on that super hot roll.
I agree.
He plays hours like you play, Ed.
Yeah. You got to be able to tread water if you're going to play for hours.
This is good. This is good training for when you come out because I mean that was a pretty long session last night. I mean, we started at like 9 and I got back at 4.
Yeah, you got in at 4 a.m. I know you did because of the text. I called you shortly thereafter, and you couldn't even make coffee.
So, Planet Hollywood.
Yes, let's hear about the new rug joint.
So I got one of those. It's like a temporary line of credit. I got
Yeah.
that. I went there, took 5,000 marker to the table, and we only played crapless. They have repeaters on the table.
What was the minimum play?
15.
Okay, cool. Like that.
Dude, super cool. I like that a lot. My strategy was, by the way, there was one guy playing super big. I was stick right 1. Hype Man was stick right 2. But there was a guy over there, man. He had well, I don't know, had to have like 20 grand, maybe more.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Yeah.
betting big. So it was a nice mix. There was like a guy like that. There was some guys, some people from LA that were young, just loving craps and playing it. And then there's a super old dude. I mean, I'm talking like old. Like I was worried he was gonna like turn to dust at the table. I couldn't believe he could throw the dice that far down the table. I was like, yeah,
Did he get them all the way to the end?
yeah. I was surprised that he did. I mean, man, we are talking. That's good though, man. You can play this game till you're that old.
Yeah, I will.
I wanted to win something on the repeaters, and I did, by the way.
All right, so they put in the repeater bet there, correct?
They got the repeater bet, and so I would do $60 on the repeaters on the outside. So 2, 3, 4, I'd have $10. The 10, 11, 12, I had $10.
Okay.
In the course of that session, I hit,
You didn't do the inside numbers at all. You just did the outside stuff.
yep,
You did the easier hits for bigger numbers.
yep, dude. I ended up hitting a 4 repeater on the 12, repeater on the yo, repeater on the 4. It's nice.
Oh, it's nice when they hit.
Hell yeah, it's nice when they hit.
And if you don't have the ATS, you got to play whatever the gravy is on the table.
And that is the extra stuff that can really make a big difference.
Extra sauce, baby. Extra sauce. Give me some crafts with some extra sauce, and we can make some stew.
Yep. And I was making some stew. Some maybe what was that stuff from last? What'd you say? Oh, I could already forgot. It's like the Cajun stew.
Etouffee.
Etouffee. Dude, I was making some etouffee last night.
You're making some craps etouffee, baby.
I
Craps
was, man.
etouffee.
Dude, I was cooking it up, man.
You left out the crawfish and put in the craps. I hear you. That's good. And they're a little bit tougher than crawfish and got a little more bone in them. But we can make etouffee. We can make it with anything.
Yeah, man.
We can make it jambalaya if we have to.
So yeah, just played. I didn't go crazy on it. I was build just basic strong play. By the way, one suggestion that you made is I have a tendency to sometimes work the extremes, depending if they're a quarter each on the extremes, the outer extremes, 2,
Yeah.
3, yo, midnight.
Yeah, that is the extremes.
I will work those on a come out roll just because I feel like those numbers are hard enough to hit. I might as well if I lose that bet, I'm fine with losing that 100 for the sake of possibly not missing out on a 2 or 12, which I can then stack up on and make everything at least 50s.
Yeah, I don't like that bet. And you know that.
I know you don't, but there was someone that was throwing horn numbers, and instead I took your advice, which was,
thank you.
And it's because I had it already up to 100 on that 12, so I just didn't want to work it and lose.
Because you like to work basically just the 2 or 12s, or basically the 12, right? On the come out.
I'll work all the extremes if I have a quarter on them.
Yeah, but if you've got $100 sitting on 12.
Oh, if I have 100 on 12, no. See, that's the thing. That's what we talked about, and I just put it into play, you said risk versus reward, which was a good thing, good way to think about it. So why not risk $25 on a one-time roll,
right,
to win $750 on the 12? But Ed, you know what I did? I ended up doing a 25 high-low.
Okay.
Two-way, 5 for the dealers, and then 10 on each number.
So for you had $10 on each, the aces and the 12.
Which pays 30 to 1. So I ended up winning like 300.
Did you throw it or did somebody else throw it?
Someone else threw it.
Okay.
But I will
good bet, man.
Gauge those usually based on what that shooter's doing. It's not just like a random thing. I mean, I'm paying attention. That's what I don't think a lot of people are doing. You would do this. Other people do this that are like into craps. I mean, we're looking at the numbers that are being thrown and the people that are throwing them and what's coming up. There's always going to be like tables sometimes hit outsides. Some tables don't. All they're doing is pegging inside numbers.
Yeah. So you got to bet the inside. You got to adjust what's being thrown. That's my philosophy anyway. You know what I do sometimes before you go on? A neat thing to do. And you'd be surprised if you're at the right table with at the right places. So like if I go to Tunica, those guys from Memphis come down there, they know how to throw extremes. But you can't trust all of them's throw, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to put a lot of money out there, but you want to have a little action and just wait on the dice. Yep. So I do a buy of $35 on the 12. That gives me the maximum return for $1 VIG, right? And that's all I do. I'll sit there and wait and do a $35 12 all the way around the table. Sometimes. You'll be surprised at how many 12s will get thrown by those guys in Tunica on a full lap around a decently full table.
Yeah, I probably would be surprised. That's pretty cool. No wonder
Yeah.
why, talking to Hype Man, we were having a little convo after. I was asking him, why he loves. I was telling him about where Crapless came from, down south. And I was asking him, why he loves. He loves Crapless, and I love Crapless too. And dude, he was like, because Crapless is all positive. It doesn't have any don't players on it.
That's what Gargoyle likes about it because Gargoyle does not like to play on the table. In fact, he will walk as soon as there's a don't bet. He'll pull his bets down and walk. And there's no don'ts. There's no don'ts on a crap.
I can respect that. I was always that same way. I just don't necessarily like that energy at a table. I know everyone says it's half the game and you're not playing half the game. Well, guess what? Crapless, it's not even part of the fucking game now.
Yeah, it's not part of the game at all. That's why I do the $35 12. It's a way to pass the time and have a little bit of action, not an extreme amount of action, but when it hits,
It's 210, right?
yeah.
$210. I mean,
And you just put that in your rack and you've got how many 35s you can do? Six more shooters.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a nice way to just chill out and wait.
But sometimes it hits twice.
Well, listen, and man, if it hits twice and you're on the repeater, I mean, if I'm going to shoot, I'm going to play $100 on the line and $10 on each number just in case. On any other random shooter, I'm going to play at least $60 on the line. It's
On the repeat because the
Yeah, because I believe that the bonuses can serve as bankroll boosters. I'm not a purist where I know you're not when it comes to this. These things can sometimes be the difference of you being even or up.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Not enough people bet them last night at Planet Hollywood. So bought in for 5, left up 1,600.
Nice lick. Nice lick.
And it's really nice paying back your marker immediately.
Pay back your marker and all of a sudden you got $1,600 in cash in your pocket.
Yes.
But here's the problem. You didn't go home then.
No, that's not the problem because I'm out with I'm out with Hype Man. Dude, you are not going home.
Mr. Hype Man, you're both are hyped up. You're ready to go.
You're gonna like this, dude.
So let me ask you a question before you go on to the next part of your story. What made you color up at that point?
It's fucking easy. The total energy changed at that table. 2 people left on the other end. Another person left. The two, like their younger couple, they had a really respectable role. They liked the game. They were from LA. They left. All of a sudden, the table just emptied out, and it was just a different vibe.
You could just feel it. You could just feel the whole energy change.
Of course, you can, and it's a real thing. And then you just got to take note. Time to split.
Yeah.
Perfect time to leave. It's almost like the world is telling you, we're not forcing it. We're out of here. I got to tell you one thing, which I love to do. I talk about having triggers for when I play certain prop bets. I'm just not a prop. We're going to play this and we're going to keep playing this and we're going to spew.
Yeah.
Ed, this is so sweet. This would be the highlight. If I had a craps highlight like on ESPN of my session last night.
We will. They'll start following us with cameras someday.
There were already 3 hits on the 4 for the repeater. Okay.
Yeah.
That pays $650 if the 4th one comes in. So when I noticed that after that 3rd hit, now we're just waiting on 1 hit for the repeater. I think I had 50 on the place bet for 4, which would pay 100.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I want what I call like a slot machine jackpot. If that 4 comes in, I want it to hit. Ideally, it's going to hit. I know I'm going to get paid twice, place bet and the repeater bet, but I want to get paid on the hard 4 as well. So I had a $50 2-way hard 4 as well.
How much for the dealers?
25.
25.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what they fucking love about. See, but you know what? It's my first time there. By the way, one of the guys at the crew, Eric, really cool dude. Their crews were nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. I'm telling you, great energy there. Music is going. It's more of a party vibe. That place was packed.
I ran into Sammy Hagar there once.
Drinking tequila.
Yes.
Right? Doesn't he have a tequila brand?
He does. Cabo
I think he
Wabo.
does.
Cabo Wabo. It's not bad.
If I was going to listen to Van Halen, and I was never a huge fan, I would go with the Van Halen with David Lee Roth.
Of course.
Hell yeah, dude.
Of course.
Do you know,
Man, we're we're getting off topic. Can we do a podcast about craps for a change? This actually about craps and not about almost craps.
so Ed, dude, that's the highlight though, man. That was the highlight. That four coming in as a hard four. And then all of a sudden, I got
So you got $25 on the hard four.
I got 50.
Yeah, but for you,
50. No,
25 for the dealers,
I
25
got
for you.
50. 25 for the dealers, 50 for me.
Oh shit, you put $75 on the hard four?
Dude, always. I didn't put anything else on any of the hard ways just then because I wanted that four to come in because it would be that jackpot.
So you had $50 on the hard four at 7-1. That's 350.
Yeah.
350 to you, plus you had $50 on the four that paid 100.
Yep.
You're at 450.
Yep.
And eventually you got paid on the repeater, which was
650.
it's $1,100 swing right there on one top. Nice.
Yeah. And then when people look at you like, what did this guy just do? Well, that's what I do. I'm automatically, it's a given. If you've got any of the hard ways left, last night it happened a couple times. There was a 10 left. I'm putting $100. If I see it, I'm putting $100 on that hard 10. I've got 100 on the place bet.
You're crazy, but I love it.
Then it's going to be boom, boom, boom. And when it happens, it's one of the sweetest things. It's the biggest rush. One of the biggest rushes that I get playing craps is when you can hit it like that. It's like a slot jackpot.
Oh, yeah. But for our listening audience, let me say this is a high risk play. High reward, high risk.
Let me tell everyone, this is one of the most satisfying moments for playing craps. And if you haven't done it, next time you're looking up at that bonus and you need a 6, throw something on there, a two-way hard way. I make it 100 because I want that massive, Ed, I want that massive payout if it hits. Yep. And then I say 10-ton is number one.
10-ton is number one, babe.
That's going to happen when you're here, when we're down, when we need a number.
That's a quart.
A little, what kind of bourbon you got right now?
I went to my basic all-time favorite tonight.
Woodford?
No, I love Woodford, though.
What do you got?
Bullet.
Oh, Bullet. Yeah, that seems apropos.
Apropos for a Southern guy, right?
Yeah, etouffee. Dude,
good with etouffee. Anyway, go ahead.
You watch. We're going to do that. When you're out here and we need a number, you see how I load up on. That's when I load up on hard ways. I just don't randomly load up on hard ways. It's always a cue or a trigger. And I feel like it's all funneling down into this, like, it's like a super rush.
That's a lot of money to put on a hard way, dude.
That's exactly what you should be putting on.
Up front without hitting some and kind of building it up.
Well, think about it. It's a natural hedge on that place bet anyway. I mean, that place bet's going to come in. You're going to make 200. If you miss it, if it comes in an easy way, you're still going to make 200.
Yeah.
You're going to lose your hard way. So you're
still up 100. You can go whatever you want to do. You can call it even if you want to go back up or whatever.
Yeah. And then you're going to win whatever you have on that bonus.
Because I don't run into repeaters anywhere down here. So I'm always excited to play those unusual side bets when I go to Vegas, which has been a while. Fire bet, repeater bet. 4 pays how much to 1?
65.
65 to 1?
Yeah, so you get 650.
I'm in on that shit.
I think so.
I mean, but there used to be I'm glad to hear that these properties on the strip, even though I love the ATS, at least they're adding something, which is the repeater. Because the only place that used to have the repeater that I remember was the Gold Coast, and you know how much I despise that place.
Gold Coast, I think, and Suncoast, I think. I don't, there's not a lot of places that have repeater, but I don't necessarily like the repeater, but that's the way that I learned how to play it.
Well, you got to play what's on the table.
I hardly ever see anyone hit the 5, 6, 8, 9. Well, I'll have $100 when you're shooting on that. I capitalize on that. But for me, that's going easy. $60. I think at worst case, I'm going to do a $40 pass line, and then I'm going to have just 10 on the 2, 3, 11, 12. Listen, you'd be surprised at how often, like I said, someone hit the yo.
Look, all right, to me, a perfect hand is 12 rolls and 2 craps numbers. That's hard to do. So let's just say, for example, instead of a 12 roller, you got a 15 roller. You've probably, the average typical hand is probably going to have 5 of those 15 are going to be some function of the horn numbers, right? So if you're lucky and you got the right repeater bet going, there's going to be a couple of 2s or some 12s, or maybe even the 3s and 11s are going to hit, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just kind of the way it works out as far as I can tell. But there again, nowhere I go has the repeater bet.
So, when in Rome, I've just got to play it. I'm not going to like not play it. There's a lot of pluses.
So that was a great brand new rug joint play. So you colored up again, how much?
1,600.
You got 1,600 in your pocket. You paid off your marker.
Yep.
Then what'd you do? Where'd you go?
Walked out the door.
Down.
2 minutes later, we're walking through Paris.
Yeah.
And then we headed straight over he got a drink at the bar because he likes their drinks. And then we headed right into
the Circle Bar.
Yep.
I love the Circle Bar.
Yeah. I think there was a lady of the evening that was trying to make us part of her evening.
Yeah.
Which we declined.
Which was becoming early morning.
We had other plans. Okay.
Yeah.
We had other more important plans.
Yeah.
Okay. So she was at the bar.
I had that happen there that some security guy came up and asked this chick for her ID.
Dude, this happened exactly like while she was talking to us. A security person came up and asked her.
That's what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me. I'm sitting there playing. I'm sitting on a slot machine right in front of that bar.
I started cracking up,
just killing some time. And this chick's talking. He's talking to me, and she won't know if her and her friend can come upstairs, come to my room. Like, what the hell y'all going to do when you get there?
Practice shooting.
I started pulling her chain, just like, because I know what's going on. So I'm like, well, what are y'all going to do? Well, we might dance. I said, you might dance? I said, why the hell would I want you to come to my room and dance for? Y'all can dance right out here on the floor. I mean, I'm just being a Southern redneck like I am, and just pulling their chain. And all of a sudden, this guy, he's got like body armor on. I mean, he looks like he walked out of combat.
Yeah, that's what they wear over there.
Yeah,
they got that body armor.
And I asked her for her ID, and boom, she was gone.
Yeah,
I just laughed.
Well, they're all over. So Ed, so then we went to
we got off topic. Sorry, folks. Got on the hooker story.
Yeah. So then we went to Horseshoe, and
no, wait a minute. You did not play at Paris. Okay,
no, looked at the tables, and you know what? The energy was down. So we're like, let's go. I've been playing these tables, by the way, this past week, not Planet Hollywood, but I won a few $100 at Horseshoe, and I did like the table, and this table was filled, different vibe, more old school, older guys, a little more like serious.
Talking about last night or this morning or what?
No, the other night that I was there, I like just what that general vibe is, a little older.
Yeah.
A lot of setters there. And I mean, I was basing a lot of my bets off of what I could tell what they were setting for theoretically. So I went back there, and I didn't get the throw because I wanted to throw. So just so happens there was only one guy at the table. He was stick right one. Me and Hype Man walked right up there. I got stick left one. And he was stick left two.
Hype Man was stick left two.
Yep. We walk up there, and the crew was like so welcoming because they were two of the guys over from Paris, and they were just having a good time. They're like, nice to see you again.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, nice to see you too. How's the table? Like, great, come on, let's do it. And dude, I shot fucking awesome. I needed the 2 and 12 because they still have the bonus. I don't know if they're switching out the bonus to repeater.
They still got the ATS right now. Right now, as we speak, they have the ATS. Still
and it was crapless again. So it's at their crapless table. And man, dice felt so good in my hand. It's a shame that didn't come in because I had 25s on the tall, 25s on the small, and 50s on all of them. I was going for a $9,000 hit. I needed the 2 or 12. I rolled for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes.
That's a 20 roller.
I was using the probably 1-4-1-2 set.
Yeah. I wonder where you got that set from.
You did. And right off the bat,
You got it from the Dice Whisperer. I'll change my handle.
yeah, maybe you should change it to the Dice Whisperer. That's a good handle. You should
I
change
think I
that.
will. I think I will. Don't call me Eddie.
You could have multiple handles.
I do. I got so many that they confuse me.
In different states. You can have them issued.
I'm the Dice Whisperer. And by phone, listening to you throw the dice and you calling out what you throw. I gave you a set.
So this would be something that you or the dealer there was telling me that I shouldn't do, which is everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And I know a lot of dealers do have their own opinions, but there's a reason why I just politely do my own thing, which I find that works. I worked the $25 on all the extremes when I'm shooting.
Did it again?
On the come out.
After the high-low?
I worked it, dude, right then, and I hit the fucking ace deuce right off the bat.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
I don't want to burst your bubble or anything.
That's okay.
Let's talk about that for yourself and for me and for our listeners.
Sure, let's dissect it.
What did you have on the 2?
I go $100 on the extreme. So it's 25 on 2, 3, 11, 12. $100.
Okay, so you had $25.
I'm risking.
So on the come out, you had it working. You had $100 working,
and
you made $150.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What does a $10 two-pay? Let me rephrase that. What is a $5 two-pay on a horn bet?
$5 two would pay $150.
It's 30 to 1. It's 30 to 1, $150. So you'd have won
$150.
$5 more, or the same amount of money, right? You'd have won $150 for $5 on the 2.
Right.
Versus you're only risking $5 on that particular number. So let's say you're going to bet them all. So you're risking.
I'm risking $100.
Yeah, you were risking 100.
Yeah.
I would be telling you to risk only 40.
Okay.
$10 on each number on the horn for the same payout.
Yeah, that's true. But then let's just say it misses.
Yeah, it misses.
I guess you're right. It's a risk versus reward. I'm down 40.
If you throw a 6, you're down 40. If you throw a 7 in your way, you're down 100.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
So
yeah, I mean, it's a very good point. So either way, if it misses, I'm down 40.
I mean, I don't want to make you mad or anything, but
no, that's okay.
And I've worked the come outs too, but
it gets trickier.
You think about it. We're going to go off on a side road here for a moment, but it's all related. Folks, we're talking craps tonight.
Yep.
So what if you had $25 world bet? Okay. You've got 2 or 3 possibilities here. You could throw a 7, not working your extremes, but you got a $25 world bet. If you threw a 7, that's a push. Your $25 does not lose, and your pass line wins.
Yeah, my pass line is a hedge. Yeah. Remember, I've got that with bonus.
You got whatever you got going up there on the ATS. You're hedging your ATS with your pass line.
Yeah.
But the world bet is a push if you throw a 7.
For sure. Yep.
All right. So if you threw that 2 with a world bet with $25 on the world, you would not have won as much. You would have won $26 times 5.
Which is 130. What is that? 26 times 5. Yeah, 130.
So you'd have won 130 instead of 150.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Going back to risk reward here.
Yeah.
You got to think that through. So now, all right, we're on a crapless table, and this is what I love about the world bet. I hit one of the extremes and I get paid. I can press the world bet and not even place the extremes. I could pull 100. You had 100 up there. I could pull that 100 down and not have to place another extreme until the world bet is no longer in play.
Right. So
if you throw two horns back to back,
yeah,
you're gravy. I mean, you could press the world the first hit, which I always do, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna press that too. I know you.
I'm pressing. Well, yeah, it's a default. I'm feeding My mode of thinking at a crapless table is how quickly can I get the extremes to 100? Because I want the $600 and $300 payouts on those.
I got you.
And that is my, how fast can I get to that? So, but you bring up a very excellent argument. And after this, I'm going to have to really sit and think and look at numbers on a world bet.
I love the world bet on paper.
Let's say if it hits, let's say 2 hits with that 25, I'm using that $150.
Yeah, but let's just assume, do it like Ed does. You always press the world on the first hit,
Okay, but then what are you pressing it to?
at least 50.
Okay, so if it's at 50, then you're making like what, 260?
I know you're trying to get to 100 on any extreme. You're going to press them at least a quarter minimum.
At least. No, it's always a quarter. So it goes 25s to 50s.
All right. So I'm pressing the world to 50.
Mhm.
So I got $50 exposure. You still got $125 exposure if yours hits, right?
Yeah.
If I throw a 7, my world bet's still in play. You just lost 125.
I guess this is worth talking about because once I go up to 50s,
I think so.
I'm going to be a little more gun shy to have those working on the come out.
Yeah. So
In fact, I actually don't work anything over 100 on the come out anymore. So it's only 100 because I'm like willing to lose that $100.
but why wouldn't you rather just lose 25, man?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just.
Hey, I want you to do the math and do what's comfortable for you. But I'm just kind of giving you and our viewers, our listeners, something else to think about because the world bet, it pays. Look, the world bet pays this. This is the simplest way to put it. On a 7, it's a push. There's no win, no loss. Okay. On a 3 or 11, it pays $11 for every 5 that's on the world bet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not great.
So you're in what, 55?
But now on a crapless, your pass line does not win, right?
Yeah.
If you throw an 11 on the come out, that becomes the point.
Yeah.
Ace deuce, same thing. All of them, the same thing. They all become points. But if you throw a 2 or 12, instead of paying 11 per 5, it pays $26 for each 5.
Correct. Yeah, and that's when you get up to what?
If you've got 50 up there, that's 10 5s. So 10 times 26 is 260.
Yeah.
The second hit if you throw a 2 or 12. And that's what they're looking for.
Here's the thing.
And you've got nothing at risk. You've got absolutely minimal risk.
Well, you now risk $50, right?
Yeah, but 25 was off the win.
I'm sorry, that $50 though is a guaranteed loss if it doesn't hit. Whereas mine necessarily isn't a guaranteed loss.
It is a guaranteed loss if you throw it inside anything from 4 through 10. It is a guaranteed loss.
Right.
It's not a guaranteed loss on a 7. It's not a guaranteed loss on any horn number. Yours is a guaranteed loss on a 7. So do the math. You think about it.
Well, I will. There's going to be some sort of sweet spot where those things like meet, whereas like this is just enough to lose when an inside number hits.
But you could go to some place that allows you to lay a number.
Yeah, fuck that. I mean, I think you can lay at these casinos.
You have to ask them. Some of them will allow you, some won't. I would almost bet you they don't allow it there.
I think you can lay at these crapless tables. If I'm not mistaken, he mentioned that to me.
Well,
but that's tough when you lay at a 2 or 12, you have to lay it.
No, you don't lay that. You lay the 4 or 10. You lay a weak number to cover your exposure or to cover at least a good portion of your exposure. We used to do that at Strat. We'd have a $60, it'd be a $15 minimum table. You'd have $60 working on the extremes, and we would lay the 4 for 100. So we had $10 net exposure unless we threw a 4. So I never laid against myself because I throw a lot of 4s.
I'm going to be on the table when you're throwing 4 4s.
I'm going to throw 6 4s.
If you throw 6 4s, I'm going to have $24,000 in my
I'm gonna
ride.
buy me a bison burger.
Yeah, buy you a case of them if you roll 6 4s. So I'm going to dig into this and I'll start experimenting just like how I was experimenting. For example, when I have all the extremes at 100, that's when I'm just like going to pick one number to work on a come out and I'm going to work it on just that number.
You're gonna do that. My suggestion is always work the same number forever.
Okay.
Don't vary. Don't work the 2 one time, then the 12 one time.
It's usually the 12.
Invariably, the opposite's going to hit. So you just the same number every time.
And, oddly enough, though, I've hit that twice in the last few sessions when I've done it, and I've looked like a fucking genius.
You are a genius.
Sometimes I'm just going to keep telling myself that, but I think it's a lot of it's intuition, right? This game is intuition and reading what's happening. It's one of those feels for the game that I think certain people get.
Yep. I didn't mean to just like hijack your story. So you're at Horseshoe?
What the hell, man? That's what this podcast is all about. You got to be hijacking the stories. That's how the stories keep rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a podcast about craps that's about craps. Okay. Instead of
Ed, are you worried that the podcast doesn't necessarily?
sometimes.
You were like, we didn't talk about anything that had to do with craps. I'm like, doesn't matter. It's about, I think
Well, some of it's entertainment.
it's all entertainment to me, man. A full-length extended version of this podcast is available exclusively on our Patreon page. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and will tell all of your fellow craps playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-07. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. And lastly, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/casinotears. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is #1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.